I am super excited to have my next guest join us. She's a very talented artist whose latest EP is called Afterlife. It is Juliana Madrid.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Great to see you.
To see you as well.
Before we start anything, this was supposed to have been done in person,
Yeah.
but during your Saint Motel tour,
Yeah.
but it was not to be because of some illness. Are you better now? Are you
Um,
okay?
Completely better. It was just a crappy cold that I had, so happy I'm over it. It's like happens almost every single tour. I just like feel it coming and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna get sick. It's like I feel like it's like an anxiety thing that just like forces my body to be like, yeah, you're sick. Like,
That's
yeah.
not a good personality trait, or
No,
I
it's
guess not
not.
even a personality trait. Not even that's not a good thing for a person who
No.
tours.
Yeah, it's not. Like literally before any important thing, I like feel a cold coming on and I think it's completely in my head, but it somehow manifests into my body. So happened this time, hopefully not the
It
next.
starts with the brain and then works its way
Yeah,
down and
it
affects your
really
physical
does.
health.
It's crazy. I don't know.
I'm so glad you're well and you're looking great.
Thank you.
I love the aesthetic. I love the first of all, I love the fit and I love the aesthetic. It all matches. I like the coordination here.
Yeah. I'm feeling my fall vibe right now. Finally get to wear sweaters again, even though it's still like 70 degrees in Texas, but enough for
By
a
the
sweater.
way, I was just around your hood in your
Really?
state. Yeah, I was just at ACL just this past
Oh,
week,
okay.
and I was like, man, this would be great for Jules to play. This is right up her alley, obviously, and with the vibe and the aesthetic and all that. So, but
Amazing.
you had other things going on. You were actually in Maryland for the All Things
Yeah.
Go Fest.
Oh, God. It was so cool. It was like I still can't believe that I even got to do that. Like sickest lineup ever. And it just felt really surreal to be able to do that. So it was awesome.
That
Really fun.
that lineup was insane. Obviously featuring many strong female
Yeah.
singer-songwriters, and I'm sure a lot of them that you look up to. When you're in that environment, do you get to mingle? Did you get a peek at
Um,
at
I got,
anybody?
I got to see Muna and all of them. I got to see basically everyone except for Lana Del Rey and any of Boy Genius, but everyone else was kind of hanging around at some point or another in like the artist lounge area, which was really cool. But I
Well,
didn't
that's
really.
what I, yeah,
Oh,
that's what I mean, because I feel like it's almost like a music conference, because you're there,
yeah.
you do your thing, and then, for the rest of the time you get to hang and maybe get a chance to strike up a conversation.
I did get to be introduced to Maggie Rogers, which was really cool, and also to Fletcher, which was really cool. She's like the sweetest lady in the world. So those were some highlights from that.
That is so rad, and I can imagine that not only is it just inspiring, but just also motivational as well, because
Yeah.
you're seeing
Completely.
them on their trajectory for many years and then seeing them on that stage.
Yeah. I mean, like with a lot of those artists I've listened to since I was like 16. So it's just, it felt really weird to see them and like be in the same thing that they're doing. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But yeah, it was very inspirational. And like anytime after I play a show or a run of shows, I feel really highly motivated and just kind of like reignites everything again. So that's why I love playing live also because of that
Oh,
reason.
and this being, I guess, your first festival, right?
Yeah, first ever. It's really cool.
What was the vibe beforehand, and do you prepare a different set list? I feel like that you have a lot of material for which you can call from. You can like let's just go with the bangers.
Yeah, I did actually. So I did have a 30-minute set, which was cool. That's like my usual set for like opening shows and stuff. But I did try to make it like all of the bangers and like all of the fast-paced ones, with the exception of Dreams. Like I do that just with no tracks and my voice and my guitar, which is really fun, and everyone knows that song, so that was pretty cool. Um, but like before the show, I was extremely anxious because I went on first, but I did get a sound check, which was really cool. But like in ears that you have to wear to like hear
The
yourself.
monitors, yeah.
Yeah, the monitors. So I had them in. They were working great for a sound check, and then 15 minutes goes by. I go on stage, and then they start dropping out because I think there are just like so many frequencies going on. So I was panicking and it was really scary. And I had to sing like the entirety of Afterlife without them in. And I didn't have any like real monitors in front of me. So that was terrifying. And that was scary. But I feel like that kind of thing just like is bound to happen at festivals. But then the sound guy was really nice and got me a new pack. So yeah, that was like the scariest thing. But then after that, it was like very chill. The crowd was so nice. And there were like a lot of people there because I feel like everyone just wants to get there early to see everything. Um, and yeah, just like the whole attitude and vibe of the festival is like it was my first festival, but I have gone to like a couple before. And the vibe is just so much better at that one because it's like the girls and the gays, which we love. And they're just like nice and like considerate, respectful, and really welcoming. Like that's like the main takeaway I think from playing there. I felt really welcomed.
Well, obviously, I'm a big fan of your work and us as an organization here. And you just literally took it to the next level with this latest EP. When we first spoke, I told you how much potential I saw and how eager I was to hear the new music. And not only did you not let us down, you exceeded expectations. So congrats on the release. It's been out for a little bit, of course. At the time we spoke, gosh, what was it, like almost a year ago, right?
Yeah, I think so.
When were these songs created? I feel like that some of this could have harkened back to the experiences that you were going through during the initial material that you released, as well as more recent experience.
So some of them, like Satisfied, was written probably like 2 years ago or something with Ben. That's probably like the oldest one on there because I was doing that even at the shows that you met me at for that interview, that run of shows. So that I've been singing that for a long time live. So I'm so happy it's like out and I finally get to sing it and like have people sing along kind of to it. But a lot of them were also pretty new, written like maybe like in that 6 months beforehand. Yeah, they're all kind of scattered. I feel like it's just kind of making sense of it all after and like bringing all of the sounds and ideas together. But yeah, they're never written at the same time.
You refer to Ben, and Ben, of course, is from the Knox,
Yeah.
who is the producer and helped to guide you in your music and your songwriting and so forth. What I guess is the new thing or the growth on this EP? Because as a new artist, you're finding your sound, you're finding your voice,
Yeah.
something that you feel resonates with you that is also universal to everyone else.
Yeah. I feel like with finding my voice, it's just like gotten better just with like time and practice. So that's cool. I feel like I was able to like showcase more of my range and vocals on everything. Um, then also just with like the growth in general, I feel like the whole concept of the CP was kind of looking inward at myself and all the stuff that's going on in my brain. And it was kind of getting out of my comfort zone to find the words to put to all of that, which is something I probably tried to do with the first EP, but maybe wasn't able to fully reach, which I still love it and I think it's amazing. But this one, I feel like it was just a little easier to get there, which is really cool. And I think that allows more people to make connections with it because it's kind of like your deepest things that you don't want to say out loud. So you just hear it in a song and able to connect that way. Um, but yeah, I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with how everything turned out. And it's really fun to play them live. Someday, so.
I saw you open for Saint Motel here in San Francisco. I couldn't help but observe some of the giggles and snark.
Trackstar.
Yes.
That's honestly my favorite thing is to sing that those like two opening lines and then to like hear people laugh out loud. It makes me happy.
Where did you come up with that? That seems to be uh, not a recurring thing, but something that I think you can use as a trademark of sorts.
Yeah. I just think it's funny and it's like it makes me laugh. It's like way more enjoyable. Like I think sad songs are great and I love singing sad songs and I have a lot of sad songs, but I think songs that make you laugh and that are kind of stupid and like outrageous in a way are just more entertaining and it's like always more fun to sing them live. And like I said, like seeing the crowd's reactions is like my favorite part ever of that. Um, yeah, I like to have a little cheeky moments in songs just for that reason.
You
Yeah.
say you have an affinity for sad songs. Why do you think that is? You seem like such a bubbly, very charismatic person.
Interesting. um, uh, I don't know. I've always connected with them. I've always had issues and struggles talking about how I feel. I still do. Um, so with kind of more sad songs, like I'll just use Elliott Smith for an example. Like the fact that he was saying things that like resonated with the things that I've never said to maybe anyone in my life. It's just cool and it makes me feel accepted in a way and a little bit easier to accept myself to know that someone else is going through that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Where do you draw the line then in journaling versus poetry slash songwriting?
I don't think I do have a line. I feel like there are no boundaries for me with that. It's just trying to be as honest as possible. Like sometimes I will take lines straight out of my journal, and maybe edit them a little bit, but like just to make them sound better in a song, not to censor in any way.
How truthful then is the set of lyrics about doing it in a church parking lot and someone who's being 29 and you weren't?
Um, there is some truth to that. I did not do it. Well, I'm not going to say that, but there's a church parking lot right around the corner from me where like kids would go to make out in high school, like from my house. It's like also pretty close to my high school. So I just thought that would be funny. Um, I've had people that literally like grew up with me and they're like, "Are you talking about the church parking lot? Like literally on Whitechapel Road?" And I was like, "Maybe." So that's hilarious. Um, and then with older guys, I feel like that's always been kind of like a reoccurring theme with me, just like in general, like in high school, I always had like an older boyfriend or something. So it just felt relatable at the time. And like
And
she,
your friends were like, so the 29-year-old, and they have four people down the list.
maybe. No, I got no questions about that. So fine.
Another one of my favorites is Big Plans.
Thanks. Me too. I love that.
Ever since you teased us with it and you released the video and all this, I was like, wow, this is my jam.
Cool.
How is that an old one? Is that a new one?
I think I wrote that last year in the summertime. I remember I was like rehearsing for some shows. I don't remember what. But like whenever I'm rehearsing, I do have my in-ears in and I have the mic on and my guitar plugged in, so it feels like I'm playing a concert. And I was like really into Kathleen Edwards at the time. I still am. But she had this one chord progression that I really liked, and I was just kind of messing around with it and put in different keys and like did different ways to rearrange it in a way that made it my own. And then I sang the melody for the first verse of Big Plans, and I was like, "This is cool." And Ben was like, "Record that," and I did. And then I kept like I kind of sing gibberish whenever I first start like any idea, but for this one, I kept a lot of the main words in there because it kind of just felt right, like the syllables and the rhyme scheme, which was cool because that also doesn't happen very often. Um, yeah, it's like one of my favorite songs ever. It's so fun to play. And at the festival, that's when I had an unprompted wave. I didn't even ask them to do it, and they just started doing that, and I was like, "Wow, this is so cute."
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It was
That's awesome. Ah, I wish I was there to see it.
okay.
I would have been waving with them.
I know you would have.
I'm obviously a fan. Congrats on the recognition and playing your first festival. I wish I was there. I wish you were playing ACL, but hey, in all due time.
I think so.
Appreciate you taking a moment to chat here.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for being so flexible and rescheduling with me. Really appreciate it.